ready to rock and roll, guys.
If
you guys are.
Let's do it.
All right, Pod, welcome back. This is the first live streamed ever Boomer Backfield podcast.
Let's go. Turn up.
We're excited. This is one step closer to becoming what we want to do. Anyways, today's going to be a great podcast for you. We got the Natty coming up on Monday. Just some exciting stuff. So be sure to follow us on all socials. We're everywhere. And listen to our podcast where you listen to podcasts because we're also everywhere there too, including iHeartRadio.
Yes.
For whatever reason, we're there too. We're everywhere. So there's no excuse. But anyways, with that being said, my name is Colby.
My name is Spencer.
And I am Kylan.
And we're excited for today's pod. It's been a while. So the plan is kind of we're going to go every Friday live stream at 1 or 2. We had to push back to 2 today because some technical difficulties, which is expected, the first time streaming live. But we're active now. We got motion. And
bingo.
LeBron. Bingo.
I
got action. LeBron. Anyways, we're going to talk about the national championship, a little bit of OU hoops. We're also going to talk about why we don't have a DC yet. We're already starting weights and conditioning, and we do not have a defensive coach.
Sure.
A little concerning. And then, of course, our favorite topic, comments on comments. We're going to hear from you guys. So, and then if you're in the live chat or the live stream, be sure to chat in because we might feature your comments because it's on comments. And then we'll wrap it up. So, diving in, national championship, Notre Dame versus Ohio State. The one thing I want to say before we get into this is the college football playoff rankings in week 15, the last ever rankings. Notre Dame was ranked 5, Ohio State was ranked 6. So a year ago, based off of those rankings, the two teams in the national championship wouldn't have even been in the playoffs this year. And now they're in the national championship. So it goes to show you, 12-team playoff is doing pretty good at picking out the best teams in college football because this time last year, we would not be seeing the two best teams in college football and the Natty. So that's just my first thoughts on that so far.
And it was Notre Dame who knocked off number 2 Georgia, and it was Ohio State who knocked off number 1 Oregon.
Yeah.
So it's not like they got lucky, like, oh, some other team beat them out. It's like they did the job. What I find interesting about this game is, to me, it feels like a great matchup.
Yeah.
ESPN says it's a great matchup, 55-44%. So like a pretty even game. Las Vegas doesn't think so. They have an 8.5-point favorite Ohio State Buckeyes. That's a huge spread. That's like us playing Alabama spread. I mean, we were like 10-point underdogs to Alabama.
Yeah.
Like that's a big spread. So especially when you're talking about literally the two best teams in the country allegedly. So yeah, Vegas obviously thinks Ohio State is who we saw against Oregon. I think Ohio State showed some ability to get beaten versus Texas, and obviously they played Michigan.
Yeah.
What I like about Notre Dame in this situation is Notre Dame plays a lot more like Michigan than Oregon or Texas, who goes to the perimeter. Notre Dame, not saying that Notre Dame isn't a pass offense, but they
Lord.
oh my God.
Come on.
Sorry.
But Notre Dame has the O-line, has the run game. Jeremiah Love. They can play that way. They can play Michigan style.
Yeah.
Maybe not as good as Michigan can do it, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The quarterback play, I think, is very even here. I think Will Howard and Riley Leonard are like the same quarterback, just for different teams. So it's going to come down to, can the receivers make plays in open field? Can they get open? How's the D-line going to hold up for both teams? I don't know. But I like the matchup here. I think, I don't know, Vegas is putting Ohio State as heavy favorites, which is reasonable, based off their performance the last 2 weeks or 2 games. But I don't know. I'm not counting Notre Dame out just yet.
I don't I'm just such a Ohio State believer now. I like something
Yeah.
flipped a switch because at first I was like, dude, Oregon's the craziest team in the country. Like they're gonna win it all. And I remember like Joel Klatt said, I have Ohio State to win it all. Like at the beginning of the season, I hadn't even seen him play, and I was like, okay, whatever. But now I'm like, dude, Jeremiah Smith had 3 yards versus Texas, and I mean, I get two score game. It's not really. I mean, Jack Sawyer scored a touchdown. But dude, I just think. And the DBs for Notre Dame are like, we're playing the same, we're playing man, we're manning them up, blah, blah. Please, go ahead. I think that is the worst thing you could ever do to that wide receiver course, to man them up and try and guard 1 through 4 of their wide receivers. It's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work.
You could.
So, I mean, I don't think I don't know. It'll be good. I think Notre Dame's very, like, scrappy, and they just played very hard because I think they played. Marcus Freeman is a great head coach.
Yes.
I see Ohio State maybe kind of walking them a little bit. It might be that 8.5 looks pretty good to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I think I looked at it and it's like, whoa, Notre Dame's 14-1. And their loss was probably kind of fluky. And that whole thing about the NIU head coach like telling Marcus Freeman something is insane.
He did what?
Like when they lost the next week, the NIU head coach, I forget his name, he called Marcus Freeman and told them, this is what we saw. This is how we beat you.
Yeah.
And since then, generational run.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So
Really?
NIU's head coach called him and said, hey, like, I drew up obviously an incredible game plan to get my team to be your game, like my team to be your team. If you want, I will give you that game plan and you can go do with it what you will.
Yeah.
Marcus Freeman said, yeah.
Wow.
And since then, 13 no. So
that's crazy.
Thomas Hammock is the NIU coach's name. So shout out Thomas Hammock.
I mean, I just add on to that. I love Marcus Freeman, dude. That's what keeps me in this game believing this. Dude, I love. Oh man, the way he walked into Texas A&M beginning of the year, pounding his fist to power. I was like, oh yeah, this is a new. This is what I thought BV was going to be like. Kind of a, not obviously the youth, but the swagger, the confidence, and the culture. That's what I thought Brent Venables would be like. And obviously, Brent Venables has all those things. It's just he's not winning the games. But my thing, I mean, this is something that you could see at the very beginning of the year. Ohio State is the most talented team in college football, and it's really not even close. Yeah. When it comes to Jack Sawyer, Caleb Downs back there, and then you have Jeremiah Smith, and then more. And you can keep going. Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins. You can keep going. Yeah. And it's all just – it could be too much for Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's biggest nightmare right now is to become one-dimensional.
Yep.
If Ohio State stops the run, if they commit all their effort to stopping the run, then Notre Dame, I think, would just break down. Because, like, Notre Dame, I don't think they're one – I'm not calling them one-dimensional. But if you stop their run, they're not winning the game. In the case of Ohio State. Like, Ohio State would beat them if they couldn't run the ball.
I would honestly – I know you're not saying it, but I will. I think they are one-dimensional.
Okay.
Their leading receiver – it looks like us. It literally looks like he has 464 yards. The leading guy. Riley Leonard has 2,600 passing yards. You can't tell me if they stop Jeremiah Love and Riley Leonard from using his legs around the ball because those are their two best weapons on offense, they're winning the game. Yeah. If I was Ohio State, if I am Jim Knowles, I'm saying, hey, my DBs, y'all can all just blitz. I don't think Riley Leonard can throw the ball to these guys. I mean, you see it last week. Yeah. Those 2 picks. Penn State defense, I mean, they're good. They're good, but it's just like Ohio State. You get Caleb Downs back there. He's got that secondary lockdown.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an Ollie Gordon type situation or Ashton Genty where it's like you put 8 guys in the box, but 7 guys. You'll very well see like a 4-3 formation almost every time out because it doesn't make sense to have 6 DBs, 5 DBs out in the field. Really, it doesn't make sense to be a nickel when they haven't had success throwing the ball. The thing is, it's like if I'm Marcus Freeman, my mindset is I have to punish them for trying to stop the run. Yeah, and so I have to pass the ball. I have to succeed at passing the ball. So it'll be interesting to see if Notre Dame can get that second dimension on their offense. Really, that's the most important thing, honestly. Can they get to that second dimension and be successful there?
The only thing I'm confused about Notre Dame is they're heavy on rushing, but they're pretty balanced. And what I mean by that is they're averaging 194 passing yards a game. They're averaging 210 rushing yards. They're almost even.
Yeah. That sounds
in terms
balanced. That sounds balanced, but most teams have double the passing yards than rushing yards.
No,
that's
the case for Ohio State. Ohio State's averaging 265 passing yards, and they're averaging.
That's more.
They're averaging 163 a game. So they're averaging about 100 more passing yards.
Go back to the Notre Dame one. You can see they're 14th in the nation in rushing yards per game, but they're 102nd in the nation in passing yards per game.
Yeah.
So it seems even, but it's more like they're definitely pretty run heavy.
But what's interesting though is that both of these teams, both of these teams are almost identical in the amount of points that they score and also the points that they allow. Notre Dame, for example, allows 38 points a game, or they score 38 points a game, and they allow 14. Ohio State scores 35 points a game, and they allow 12. So they're almost completely identical in what they score versus what they allow, which is really interesting.
I think it's interesting, but I just look at
you can keep talking. Don't worry about me.
Who they're playing. Like, that doesn't –
Yeah.
I feel like the Notre Dame allowing 14 points, cool. You just played the school of the deaf and blind. Like, I'm so happy that you guys didn't allow more than 2 touchdowns. But, like, Ohio State, you're playing in the Big Ten, which is arguably the best conference in the country this year.
Yeah.
And you're allowing 12 and putting up almost 40 a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I said it last week I was like, Penn State's going to whoop Notre Dame. Didn't happen, obviously. But I just feel like Ohio State they're going to be different. They have 3 receivers over almost 700 yards. Like,
that is
go stop that. Please go stop it. Like, you lock up Jeremiah Smith. Here comes Emeka Egbuka. You lock up him. Here comes Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
Like, it's. And then, you locked them all up? Well, Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins are about to run this ball all the way down the field. So I think it'll be a tough task for Mark. If he does it, hey, all for it. Yeah. Congrats. But I don't see it. I think Ryan Day might get himself a championship, and that job's looking a little more secure.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And so I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here because I think Ohio State's going to lay whooping down. But we kind of had the same conversation a couple weeks ago talking about Notre Dame and their strength of schedule, and they beat Georgia, and New Orleans, which I would argue is more so a home game for Georgia, and it really wasn't that close. They beat them by 13. So Notre Dame, Ohio State, I think is going to win, and they're more talented, but I don't want to count Notre Dame out because I thought they were going to get beat by Georgia, and they didn't. They've actually looked pretty dominant. And then they played Penn State, and I thought they were going to get beat by Penn State. And then they beat Penn State. So something to think about.
I agree. I mean, I would have my money on Ohio State if I was a betting man.
Yeah.
But if I'm Notre Dame, if I'm Marcus Freeman, okay. Notre Dame is on 13-game win streak. We say that their offense is one-dimensional. But they put up 23 on Georgia's defense. They put up 27 on Penn State's defense. We say that Ohio State's receivers are unstoppable. Their running back's unstoppable. Their talent is unstoppable. They put up 10 against Michigan, right? Michigan's an incredible defense. But Notre Dame's the national championship defense, right?
Yeah.
So, they're not – this isn't, we can come on here and say Ohio State is definitely a big-time favorite. But at the same time, if Notre Dame plays a style like Michigan – this game becomes, Notre Dame could be a favorite here if they can play at the level of defense that Michigan did. So, the biggest thing that happened in that Michigan game is they shut down the perimeter.
Yeah.
They didn't let Jeremiah Smith, all those wide receivers get open out on the perimeter. And so you stop that, you can hold this team to 10 points.
Yeah.
And if you can hold them to 10 points, then you don't need a pass game.
Yeah.
You just got to figure out a way to get 13 points. So,
Yeah.
I do. I mean, that being said, I do have Ohio State, but I definitely think this is more of a matchup than some people would say.
Yeah.
And I think the ticket prices might show that. $1,600 to get in the door.
Yep.
I've never seen a ticket price that high on ESPN.
Wow. It was,
tickets as low as $1,500, $1,583.
that's crazy. Did you see the concession prices?
It's actually
They're cheap.
I was gonna say they look
It's
pretty
like
good.
Except
$4 for a
except
beer.
alcohol.
Yeah.
The alcohol was like $9, but all the food was super cheap.
Well, there was domestic beer was like $5.
I didn't see that. I saw
Yeah.
I saw the beers were super cheap, but everything else was super cheap.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, the chicken basket was like $6. I'm like, man, give me the natty, dude. It's been $1,600.
$1,600 to get
Yeah.
a $5 chicken
Yeah,
basket.
yeah.
I mean, hey, why not?
Makes sense. The math is mathing.
The math in there.
Yeah, but anyways, Notre Dame Ohio State's gonna be a freaking banger of a game. Let's I say we make our picks.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
I made mine.
Score picks.
Okay.
100-0.
I was gonna say,
It's like, dude, I think we made our picks.
Yeah.
I got Ohio State 27, Notre Dame 17.
Mm.
Dang, I just literally jeez. All right.
My fault.
I'll go 24-14 then.
That's fair.
Because
Ohio State.
that 10-point lead is exactly what I think it is. I would say 10 points is perfect.
I want to pick Notre Dame so bad. I think I'm gonna have to go with Ohio State though. I just think they're gonna pull it out. Texas's defense was incredible, and Ohio State won by 2 scores. Granted, their receivers didn't really do hardly anything, but they still beat Texas by 2 scores. I'm taking Ohio State here. I'm gonna go lower scoring, 24-20.
I said lower score.
Lower scoring and pick more points.
They both of them.
Well, that's a lower score.
I picked 24-14, so it's more than mine. For sure.
Oh, no, I mean like overall. Like I'm not picking 30.
Oh.
Like I'm not 30 to 35 to 42.
I just thought you meant lower scoring.
Than us.
Oh,
It's
no.
Perfect.
like a lower scoring game. Anyways, let's get in some OU hoops and heartbreak.
Golly.
Dude, it's really unfortunate because, man, you watch that Texas game, the first half, you're like, we're awful.
Mhm.
Then you watch the second half, and you're like, if we played like how we did in the second half, we probably would have won by 30 points.
Mhm.
I don't know. It's a really tough situation at LNC right now because the talent is there, the coaching's there, the scoring's there. For some reason, we're not winning games. I really don't know. I don't know what the issue is.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
what happened in the Texas game was really ugly. It was an ugly game from us.
Yeah.
And that happens. But coming out that slow against a rival at home is just something you just can't do. You can't get back from that. And I think the biggest issue that I have right now is that Texas at home was actually almost as easy as it gets. I mean, really, it's about to get as easy as it gets when we play South Carolina at home this weekend. And it won't get much easier than that. And so the problem is we're playing right now. We're in the moment of this is as easy as it gets, and we're not winning. And we still need to pick up like 8 wins, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Like we still need to pick up like 8 wins. We're at 13. I would say you got to be at about 20, 21, 22 wins for this team to get into March. Probably 21, I would say, is probably the barrier.
with the Michigan
You
and
need to
Louisville
be
win.
500 in conference. If you're a losing team in your conference, they probably are not going to take you.
Yeah.
And we're 0-4 in conference, so we have a lot of ground to make up. And the teams that we're going up against at number 1 Auburn, at number 11 A&M, number 6 Tennessee, number 8 Kentucky. Like it's hard to make up ground when you have a schedule like that.
Yeah.
So the urgency was yesterday. The urgency was 3 days ago, and we didn't get. So now it's like. Now we're chasing from behind. Now we're behind in the season, and when it comes to getting into March, because that's the goal.
Yeah.
Now we're behind on that goal, and we're having to claw back, and it's just unfortunate, man. I mean, we're just in a tough spot.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the schedule ahead,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Only 5 out of our next.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 out of our next 12 games are currently ranked matchups.
Mm-hmm.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
We only have 5 games where we're playing teams that aren't ranked. One of those games is at Arkansas.
Yeah.
Tough
one. At Texas. So we just lost.
At Texas. At Mizzou.
Mm-hmm. Who was a good team. Mizzou was a good team.
Yeah, and that's saying Mizzou's not a bad team.
Mizzou was a very good
and at
team.
Texas. So
it's brutal.
We're in a pickle here because it's just, I think the thing that's frustrating is that you see the team and we're not just getting whooped by these. I mean, we got whooped by Alabama. But A&M, we lost by 2 points. That was devastating. We lost by 10 to Georgia. That's kind of a whooping. Texas, we lost by 4, but at one point we're down by like 23, 21, 23. So it's just like the talent is there. We definitely can beat all of these teams that we're losing to, but we're not. And that's where it's like, why? Why are we not beating these teams? You know, if we don't, we better beat South Carolina tomorrow. If we don't, I'm going to. That comes off every time.
Because it's 2:30, bro. It's time for my Twitter post.
That's fire.
Yeah. I just
don't know. We have to beat South Carolina.
But we
have to beat South Carolina. That is a
tickets as low as $2, guys.
Yeah. Tickets as low as $2 to beat South Carolina. That doesn't surprise me. I'm not going to be a pessimist, but I will say the season outlook would be very, very, very bad if we lost to South Carolina. I mean, the March Madness hopes would drop to significantly low levels.
Yeah.
And that's not me like doubting the team. That's just like statistically speaking.
Yeah.
The wins that you would have to pick up after that would be very tough to make. And so South Carolina's a must win. And it's a must rebound game. I mean, like this team needs the morale of a win.
Yeah.
I mean, bad.
4 straight L's. Gotta have a win.
And we're saying this. South Carolina is not going to come in here and be some bad team. Like they are a good team. And that's what sucks is it's just like the old days of the Big 12. There was no break. There's no break in the season.
Yeah.
We would go to Kansas and be like this close to beating Kansas on the road. And you're like, oh man, like surely that will surely that'll turn into something. But then you have to come back home and you're playing number 8 Baylor. And it's like, God, it's like a punch and then it's another punch. And then eventually you can't even see straight. It's like, the season has just gotten to you. And it's just a tough conference schedule.
Yeah.
That is what's so brutal about it.
What's crazy is that, and I get that it's not, OU Texas really doesn't translate to a lot of sports like it is in football, how like huge it is.
Mm-hmm.
But like to me, like it doesn't matter. Like I feel like that should be in any sport, doesn't matter who you're like, that's OU Texas. Like that game. And Jalen Moore, honestly, like mad respect to him, played crazy, played his butt off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And to sit there in the interview room and answer every tough question that was asked, what's wrong with this team, blah, blah, giving good, thoughtful answers, saying that you guys are coming out lackadaisical is insane to me when you're playing Texas. Like,
he said that?
He said lackadaisical, and I was like.
Yeah, his post-game interview, they asked him about the first half, and he said, yeah, we came out lackadaisical.
And I said, hey, I mean, respect for but like,
lackadaisical.
What are you doing? I mean, like, in the locker room, do you not understand? Like, that is that is your literal rival. I'd be coming out trying to just boom, like straight out the gate.
Season, like, kind of at the line. Like, I mean, really, that game was really pivotal because really, being honest, like, looking into the future, it was like Texas and OU both have a path to March Madness.
You got to beat each other.
They can't both. They can't both go, and so it was a really pivotal moment. Actually, it's really just like OU Texas in football, where it's mid-season and it's like we can't both go to the playoffs. You got to win right here.
Yeah,
it was just like that, and you have to come out the gates hot. You have to come out like on fire. And what was weird is it took freshman Dayton Forsythe So
What did Porter call it? The toughness lineup.
The toughness lineup. He said
Man, put that toughness lineup out there every game.
I just don't understand how your starting lineup isn't tough and how your starting lineup isn't on fire to play this game. Like it's just weird. I don't know.
It's just strange to me because all those. There's no reason you should come out playing Texas at home at a 9:00 game. LSU's packed.
Maybe they were sleepy.
And you're not wired. There's no reason you should be playing lackadaisical in the first half. It shouldn't take you being down 21 points at home versus your rival to then say, "Oh, I'm locking in. Bingo, I got action." You should be saying "Bingo, I got action" the second you set foot in the LNC 4 hours before tip-off. That was just really strange to me. I don't know. I don't. They had been sleepy.
Literally, like Dayton Forsyth diving for a loose ball should not be like that should light the bench up because it's like, hey, that's low key like kind of.
But that shouldn't be crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Shouldn't be like
that's in every sport.
That effort.
When you see a guy like in baseball, I guess like some guy comes in a pinch hit, like that doesn't ever play, and he hits a jack, the whole dugout's losing their mind because it's like, whoa, like we don't see this, but like. The rest of you guys should have already been diving for loose balls. I remember at one point, loose ball, and I think 4 of them just stood there. Like
what? I don't know.
I said, not trying to be, like you said, a pessimist, but it's like, I mean, you're playing huge, great crowd. It's Texas.
Yeah.
Get the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
it's like you should just, I don't know. Any game. I mean, if you're playing
any college sport, you should be ready to roll.
I remember the spring game for football. Deion Burks was chugging a Celsius before the game. I was like, dude, you don't need that. Like, you can go out there and put up 0 yards and it will not change anything.
Yeah.
But bro, like that competitive spirit and that just drive.
Any opportunity I get to go out here, mindset, like that is the best mindset.
Those are where successful athletes have. And, just unfortunate, but
now, I do want to talk about on the optimistic side.
Yeah.
Because I think we should do this new segment now. Pessimistic, optimistic.
Yeah.
For everything. I think that's a good idea. Anyways, so we're switching things up on the live. I think on the optimistic side for basketball, our next 2 games are unranked South Carolina at home and Arkansas on the road. Now, here's the thing. If we win those 2 games, that reignites the whole season, right? We go 0-4. We start 0-4 in conference play. We win versus South Carolina at home, which is a tough team. But then you go to Arkansas. If you win at Arkansas, even though they're unranked, Arkansas is still Arkansas. That's a big-time win. So then now you're looking at, okay, we just got bounced back 2 wins, and now we're going to play at A&M, ranked 11 A&M right now. And if they win that, now we're back in the top 25, and now we're cruising, So there is some optimism in the sense that the season isn't shot. It's definitely not looking good right now, but if we win these next 2 games, we'll have a lot of good positive momentum going into A&M, which that is a crucial game. Because if you can beat A&M on the road, now you're 3-4 in conference play, you're almost 500, you're versus Vanderbilt that next week. See now you're 4-4 going into at number 1 Auburn. I mean, we're looking good. We're sitting pretty.
Yeah,
that's the optimistic side.
If we're looking at a path to March Madness, there's 7 unranked teams left on the schedule. 7 unranked games, not teams, games left on the schedule. If you win those 7, just win the unranked games that you're supposed to win. Just win those 7. South Carolina, Arkansas, Vandy. You're gonna have to win Texas on the road somehow.
LSU,
and then Missouri twice. Go out and just get those ones that you're supposed to get. You really only need just 1 ranked win.
Yeah.
Kentucky at home. Mississippi State at home.
Yeah.
Just grab one of those.
Yeah.
Get the job done when you're supposed to get the job done.
Yeah.
And you're right back in it.
Yeah.
The problem is like you have to start now. You have to start South Carolina now. Yeah. And you have to build momentum now. So like South Carolina, Arkansas, and then after Texas A&M, you have Vandy at home. Build momentum. Go 3-4 in these next 4 games. You don't even have to get that A&M game.
Yep.
You go 3-4 these next 2. Well, now you're looking at you're 3-5 in conference. You're able to bounce up into the 500 range. So there's a path. It's just like the path starts tomorrow at 6 p.m.
Starts.
So
or is it 3?
3. It's at
3 p.m. Starts tomorrow.
It starts 24 hours from now.
Yeah. So it's immediate. It's urgent.
Yeah.
Very urgent.
I mean, on the flip side of things, women's basketball started turning it around.
Peyton Verhulst,
Dude,
Dropped a 38er, a little 38er.
That is insane.
I said,
She
Jenny
went
B,
crazy.
you need to go in that men's locker room and say, hey,
dude.
lock in. Look at what she did. You need her to come play?
Bro,
Like-
she's about to go play with Sabrina Lonsky
Like-
next year.
Like, I don't even know. Like, it
She's
was
baller.
insane. No, 38 is crazy. That's
Insane.
nuts.
38 bomb?
38. Yeah, I don't care who you are. If you put up 38, you're nuts. You're
That's
silly.
crazy.
Dude, the craziest part about it is like they still are having a turnover issue. Well, actually, they didn't. No, they still have a turnover issue.
Yeah.
So I listened to the Jenny Bronchek
Yeah.
press conference maybe a week ago.
There's no
and
way, bro.
She, they're asking her like, "What is this? What's the turnover issue? Like,
Yeah.
how do you fix this?" And she's like, "We don't like the level that they're at right now, but we can live with a higher turnover than most kind of team because we play at such a fast pace."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yesterday they won by 17 points
Crazy.
with 22 turnovers.
That's nuts.
22 turnovers,
God.
and they still won by 17 points. If they can figure out the turnovers, and I'm sure that's all they're focused on, honestly, because everything else is going good. If they can figure out the turnovers, this is a women's basketball team that can literally win the national championship.
I would say that they would probably win the
They
national
are
if
up
they figure
there
out the turnovers.
with all those other teams. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, they're up there with South Carolina,
22
LSU.
turnovers.
Like they're up there if they can figure out that turnover
Yeah.
issue.
That's crazy, dude.
More turnovers than they won by points. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. So
That is insane to think about.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that's enough about OU hoops. Wish them luck tomorrow versus Carolina. Hopefully, we kickstart and turn the season around quick. If we do, we might be set for March. Moving into our DC hire, which we don't actually have a DC hire yet.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Why? We're starting conditioning with Schmitty. We're going into off-season workouts, and we don't have a defensive coordinator. BV, what are we doing? Who's the guy? I think if you're at OU and the DC job opens up, your DM should be getting flooded right now. And there's not even rumors.
Yeah.
Like, there's not even rumors of some guy. At first, it was Wes Goodwin or Godwin.
yeah, good one. That's a good one.
Where'd he go? He stayed at Clemson,
Stay
right?
Clemson, praise God.
So, who's the rumor train going to now? Because now we don't have a DC.
Jim knows.
Jim knows from
Ohio State.
So
dude. But that would make sense.
Yeah, hold on. Just wait. Read the comment. We got to read the comment. We got to get to the comment.
I gotta read the comment.
Get to the comment because the comment
Wait, the
is going to
comment.
lead into.
So, I made a post about it's been 20 days since Zach Alley left, and
Okay.
some people commented about the situation. A deck from TikTok, because our new DC is still competing in the playoffs. That is, we're praying. We are. If that is actually the scenario, Mr. A deck, then that's. I mean, praise God, God, because Jim Knowles is exactly. I mean, that would be huge. I don't know if that. I don't know. My confidence in that is not very high, but
Yeah.
maybe. James F says, "Don't worry, an announcement will be made on January 25th in regards to the DC position." Apparently, James F is I don't know what you call it, the all-knower.
Yeah. Rose's fortune teller.
Yeah, the fortune teller.
The fortune
A lot of confidence from James F.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is, if this was the OC, this would be panic button.
Oh, yeah.
But because it's the DC, it's not a panic button. Two is another thing. The last thing I want this squad to go do, want Brent Venables to go do, Joe C to go do, is think. And when Zach Alley originally left, I did want them to rush the hire, find somebody immediately. But that's because the transfer portal was open. And I thought, we need a DC to recruit. But signing days passed, transfer portal is basically closed. And so my opinion on it now is, honestly, recruiting really isn't a huge deal in this period in January. Take your time. We rushed it last time with the OC for sure. With Seth Luttrell, we'll just hire somebody in the system. Don't do that again. Take your time.
Yeah.
Wait for jobs to open, or wait for people to leave or jobs to open up. Whatever. Take your time and go find the right guy nationally. I would love it. I would love it if Jim Knowles was just waiting for the national championship game to be over Monday, and then Tuesday he comes to OU. But honestly, and I hate to say this, at the current state and time of where we are at, going from DC at Ohio State to going from DC to OU is a step down.
Yeah,
that's the reality. Especially when you're under BV, who's basically a defensive coordinator kind of mind. You're not. You don't have at Ohio State. I bet Jim Knowles has a lot of liberty to do what he wants.
Yeah.
Here, he just has to fit Brent Venables' system. I would totally see that as a step down. Not even just because Ohio State is winning more games right now than we are, but also because it's like you're just going into a different system that's not yours. I don't think Jim Knowles makes sense. I think we're just taking our time, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah. I just don't see it. It'd be awesome if it was, but I was going to say what you just said, which is it's a step down. Unfortunately, that's just how it is right now. So I don't think he's going to be here, Jim Knowles.
Why do I kind of think he might?
We always need somebody to have the craziest.
Because it makes sense.
Uh-huh.
It makes sense in my brain. Like, whoa. And if
like why we don't have one right now?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, he's in because it doesn't make sense if we already know what is going to change. Who's going to emerge from now until whenever you really want to go hire one? You don't get to see. Like, who the best minds like BV knows the best minds in college football for defense.
Yeah.
And like, hey, go get them. That way you can come workouts are starting. Get there as soon as you can to start working with your guys, forming whatever. But you can't do that if your team's still playing. So it might not happen, but I can see a way. If Jim Knowles, if he wants, I don't know.
But what would be his reason for coming here?
Bro, I don't know. I have no idea. But
he is. I mean, he was.
He was at OSU. He was at OSU.
Defensive coordinator before he was at Ohio State.
Yeah, he was.
Maybe he just loves Oklahoma.
Bro, I don't know.
I can't imagine that being the situation.
You could think family.
Maybe.
That's a strong pull.
Because I think it honestly like kind of makes sense to me. Like, let's say, you have a boss, because I think of BB, obviously that's like Loki's boss.
Mm-hmm.
It would be more beneficial, I feel like, to go work with the boss who like y'all have a lot in common. Like, I'm a defensive mind, he's a defensive mind. And if the philosophy is kind of the same, think about if you pull two geniuses on defense together, that defense, they might not score a point on us all year. Whereas Ryan Day's more offensive minded. Him and Chip Kelly probably are like, oh, yeah, we're buddies over here. But I don't know. I kind of believe I'm kind of believing into it. I'm like, dude, we would have had – I just think we would have had one already.
Well, yeah, you make a good point. I mean, think about it too. Just like you said, it's the boss thing. Would you rather have BV as your boss or Ryan Day? Especially if you're a defensive-minded person.
I'm sorry to be Ryan Day, but – I mean,
you have personal experience, so you.
Well, no, I'm saying apart
if
you're looking at the record, like
no, I'm not talking about the record.
I'm saying person, human, human. I would rather be.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Ryan Day just doesn't strike me as like, he can lead. I'm gonna grow as a person.
Yeah,
which I know we don't care about. I know you don't care about.
Again, I care about this. I really do. I want Brent Venables to succeed. I want like that personality to succeed. But at the same time, if my career's on the line, I don't care. I care a lot more about winning games because winning games equivalates to both money, me keeping my job, my family being able to stay where we're at. If he comes here and OU fails as a program, he has to uproot his family again. So to me, winning games equals stability for my family. Winning games equals money. Winning games equals my legacy. So that's it. So, but I understand what you're saying. One thing that I'm reading right here is he's worked under offensive coordinators, like former offensive coordinator head coaches, his entire career. Everywhere he's gone.
Interesting.
Mike Gundy, former offensive coordinator, former quarterback.
Yeah.
He was at Duke, former offensive coordinator, head coach, and then now Ryan Day, former offensive coordinator or offensive mind kind of guy. So maybe that is the change he's looking for.
I think if that money's right, I go anywhere. I go to Alaska.
That is true.
Oh, that's
depends.
I go to Antarctica.
I wonder how much he would make here.
I wonder what Josie's pulling out of the bag.
What is Ben Arbuckle making? Do we know?
Got to be solid. I mean, it's got to at least be 1.1 million because Seth Luttrell was making that.
Yeah.
So
we paid him
Who knows? Maybe we could outpay. Maybe we can outbid Jim Knowles.
That would be one thing. I mean,
Probably not because we're broke.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if we can outpay Ohio State, then sure, he might uproot.
yeah, he would.
But
If he was getting like $1 million more, absolutely,
a million more, yeah.
absolutely.
But I don't know if I feel like Ohio State could outbid us, especially with where they're at right now. I feel
I
like
mean, bro's just playing Dynasty, bro. He's just entering the transfer.
Uh-huh.
He's just having fun. He's like, oh well, I just tackled this. I might as well go try something new.
Yeah.
Try and bring Oklahoma a championship. Like, dude.
I think the only thing that would bring him here is wanting to play under a defensive coach. Because I as much as money would do it, I don't think we're going to offer more than Ohio. Like, we might offer a little bit more, but I feel like Ohio State would just come right back and say, we'll offer $100,000 or we'll match. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but it's a weird situation.
I don't know.
There was. Oh wait, no, that was the last comment.
Yeah. So
Interesting.
anyways, very interesting. Hopefully we'll find out. Hopefully it's Jim Knowles, but I don't think it will be.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Kylan. Kylan thinks it will be.
I'm gonna make a call. I'm gonna make a phone call. Jim Knowles.
I thought you were gonna call like the shot. No, you said I'm gonna make a phone call.
I'll make a phone call to Jim Knowles.
Anyways,
if he does come, then you're gonna.
Dude, we're gonna go back on this clip, and I'm gonna say
you gotta post it.
I told you so.
Do you guys want to look for like live stream comments?
yeah, there is one.
Yeah.
Because we have so many people on the live stream.
Anthony Lewis.
Anthony Lewis. I don't think he's still here, but we'll comment on it
Maybe,
anyways.
hopefully.
What's up, guys? Anthony from McAllister. What's up, Anthony from McAllister? Question: who do you think the starting receivers will be heading into 2025?
That's a great question.
Good question. For sure, Deion Burks.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. I'm gonna go with Santanga from Arkansas, and then I'm gonna go Jaden Gibson.
Yeah, that's pretty much. That's a good guess.
And then maybe the guy from UAPB is gonna be like the 4th, and Jacob Jordan's gonna be the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at right now. And then the Kennesaw State guy for tight end. Yeah.
Gosh, dude, did y'all see? Man. Anyways, Deion Burks slot, Jaden Gibson. Those two are guaranteed.
Yep.
I think Ivan Carrion makes the jump.
Mm.
That's my.
He's
opinion.
raw, dude.
I think Ivan Carrion makes the jump. The height. Yeah, I'd say that's the height. It's the height for me. So, yeah.
I'm gonna go. Obviously, Deion Burks. I think we're all gonna think that.
Yeah.
Them and Jaden Gibson. Obviously, they're both the same. But dude, I feel like it's either gonna be like Giovanni Gibson or Keontez Lewis. One of those transfers, just because they have so much experience.
Yeah.
Ivan Carrion. The only game I saw him do something was against Navy.
Well, okay.
Because they put him in every other game, and I was just like, dude, what are we? Dude, you're 6'6".
Here's my thing. Deion Burks played in the last few games of the season, looked awful. Like, I think you could have put in, and this is, I'm kind of exaggerating. I'm exaggerating. I think you could have put CeeDee Lamb on this offense. The O-line and the quarterback can't even get it to him.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, what can he do? You know? I mean, obviously, he probably would do something. But my point being is, I don't think any wide receiver would look good. I don't think you can take anything from the wide receiver room this past year and be like, oh, that's the ball knowledge. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't go. One, the offense is completely going to change.
Yeah.
But two, also, it's like, you can't hold what just happened against anybody on that offense except for the people that really, really caused it. I don't think the wide receivers, you just can't hold it on them.
Oh, Anthony's still here, by the way. He said he's at
Let's
work
go.
and listening to it. Let's go.
Hey, at work, fire.
Hey,
That's
fire.
awesome. Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah, totally.
No, yeah, but I would agree with that. I just think that experience, and I don't think these two guys are just going to be some all-star, first-team All-American. I just think they're going to be – it's going to be crazy to line up a 5'9" at the slot and then have two, 6'5" plus guys running. Because I feel like you have another, you got to have another guy over there. Santana, I think he's two because he's slot guy. I feel like you're not going to run two slot guys out there, in my opinion. But you could, but I just don't see it when you have all that height in that room.
Yeah.
If you want to put In my mind, if I'm a receiver or if I'm a coach, I'm obviously going to put my little short, speedy guy at the slot, and then I'm running out probably like a 6'2" guy that like a Farouk. You run a Farouk out there, just that way you can have, you got your deep ball threat, and then a guy that can run like those medium, deeper routes. I just feel like that balance.
It really
helps.
depends on the package.
Yeah, like whatever you're right.
On the schemes and all that. But
plus, I don't know Ben Arbuckle's system, so like I couldn't honestly tell you, Anthony.
But I think what we're trying to get at, honestly, is
Deion Burks will be there.
The those transfers that we talked about, Satania, Giovanni, and then Kenthez Lewis.
Yeah,
those will probably be like all in the running. Ivan Carrion, I think, will be in the running. And then, obviously, Jaden Gibson, Deion Burks.
Yes.
Those are probably going to be on the field at all times, as much as you can get them there.
So. Yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for the comment, Anthony.
Thanks for the comment.
We appreciate it.
Nothing like being on the clock.
Getting paid. That's fire.
Nothing like it. I've been there myself.
Try got the AirPod in. AirPod. Boss walks by. Hey, what's up, boss?
Yeah. Put it right back in. Anyways, we're going into – that actually leads us right into our next segment. Anthony, thank you for doing that. Which is our favorite segment, Comments on Comments. This is where we get to hear from you guys and get to talk about what you guys are talking about. It's our favorite topic. So with that being said, we'll walk right into it. I'm going to check the chats. Anthony, I think, was the only one who commented. Something like that. Anyways.
For the first kind of topic about these comments, I want to talk about the Cowboys. The job opening at the Cowboys.
Yes. Dude.
Dude, this is okay. Anyway, I really want Sark to take it because I want Sark to leave Texas.
So we're good. Yeah.
But anyway, so Crazy Craig on TikTok said,
Crazy Craig.
As a Texas fan, I'm sure all OU fans would love for Sark to take the job. Hasn't even been close to entertaining at Red River Rivalry with Sark as head coach. Total whooping. Crazy Craig,
you're wrong.
I agree. As an OU fan, I would love to see Sark leave. I hate to say it, but OU fan, and this is me. When Sark first got that job and he wasn't having good seasons, I was still in that mindset of like another Texas coach, another one that sucks, another one that's going to get fired.
Yeah.
Now I'm switching to the mindset of we got to get this guy in the NFL. So because after watching some of those plays in the playoffs, I'm ready to say that Sark is a good coach. I'm ready to say it. He's a good coach.
Yeah.
I don't like him as a person as much as I like BB, like the culture kind of guy. But Sark's a good coach. He wins games. He's good, and I'm hoping he takes that Cowboys job.
Not a great person, but really good at what he does.
Really good.
He crashed out on that one Texas assistant coach. Do you remember that?
Don't touch my head. Oh yeah.
He went
Don't
crazy.
touch me. I was like, come on.
Yeah. So, anyways, he's a little bit of a maniac.
Show
Probably
me.
had a little booze in him during that time.
That's a low blow.
Sorry. Is that a low blow, or is it just how it is?
It's kind of how it is calling the job.
That's just how it. I'm just saying it how it is.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, I hope Sark takes it because it's unfortunate, but I guarantee you when we had Lincoln and Bob and berating Texas for 20 plus years,
Please.
I bet Texas was like, I hope they go to the NFL. I bet Texas was jumping for joy when Lincoln went to USC.
Or when Barry Switzer went to the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
I bet they were lit.
Yeah. So, because they get their favorite team and the coach from their rival goes away. That's honestly the case for a lot of OU fans right now too. For this guy. Is you're an OU fan and a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Shout out, Dad.
If Sark leaves, now your favorite NFL team gets a great coach, and then your rival in college just lost theirs. It's the perfect scenario for all OU, or A&M Cowboys and college fans. So hopefully that does work out.
If you're an OU Dallas Cowboys fan out there, like my guy Kyle, prayers.
Yeah, it was a rough year.
That's
rough year for football.
Rough decade. Rough life.
Yeah.
Rough
Since
life.
I've been alive.
Literally rough.
Literally.
You are a Gen Zer. Rough life.
Yeah. I've never seen any championship, anything. It's bad.
I saw one with the Yankees in 2009.
I was talking about
OU Cowboys?
Yeah.
I haven't.
Not a single one. Which is so crazy because you look back at the 80s and 90s. Championship. So again, we were born, nothing.
Dude, we're the curse. We talked about it. We're the curse for sports. Bro.
Yeah, we are. We are. Since we set foot on campus, we just decided to poop the bed and play terrible. So,
dude, I think Crazy Craig,
Crazy Craig.
Crazy Craig.
He cooked on
Yeah.
the first sentence in the last sentence. He cooked on the first sentence.
Mm.
Because you cannot tell me last year 34-30 game was not entertaining.
Oh, that was.
That's a one
Yeah.
example.
That's the one outlier.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
he said it
we're
hasn't
taking a
been
30-game sample, so it's a small sample.
It's a
We did
30
have one great game.
There's a
sure.
great game.
But I'm just saying, man, 34-30 and then 40 or 34-3 and then 49-0.
No, it was bad. It
Those
was
are
bad.
like
but I'm just saying.
historic
I'm just
events.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
give a
saying.
point. There was a good one.
And
There was a good one.
We
and
were
it was
healthy
great.
last year, which is bad. The 49-0, we at least had the excuse of Davis Bevel was out. How you put up 0 points, beyond me.
Insane.
But last year was just terrible.
Last year we were hurt too.
There's no excuse. You had J.A. and Michael were both healthy.
Mhm.
We're just bud.
But we just had a terrible.
Yeah,
But-
I don't even want to talk about the receiver. I've said that too many times. Kev Stock from TikTok. Kev Stock said he's not going anywhere without a natty. I don't believe so, to be completely honest with you. I think, here's the thing. There are some coaches, their goal is to go from college to the NFL.
Mhm.
That's like a pipeline. There's like coaches that just want to stay in college. And I don't think, for the coaches that are trying to go to the NFL, I don't think winning a national championship at your school is as important as you getting a head coaching job in the NFL. So I don't think he's not going to leave Texas if he did, since he didn't win the Natty.
Mhm.
I think if the Cowboys offered him the job right now, he'd probably go. If he would like to coach in the NFL, I think this is the premier opportunity to go coach, to go from coaching Texas to bringing them back. Unfortunately, to then go coach America's team. Who is passing up on that opportunity? I just don't, especially if you want to coach in the NFL. I just don't think you're doing that.
The only time I kind of agree with Kevin Stock is it's like all these like Saban goblins. I'm talking about Kirby Smart, Dan Lanning. It doesn't seem like any of them have ever desired to go to the NFL.
Yeah.
They just
Yeah.
literally just they want. It seems to me, and I don't know what happened in that dynasty that Saban created, but it seems like all his OCs and all his DCs wanted to just literally just go recreate Saban somewhere else and be Saban. It just seemed like they witnessed greatness and they were like, I want to be this, but at Texas, but at Oregon, but at Georgia. Man, I wish we got one of those guys, but
Be awesome.
Great.
But my point being is I can kind of see where you're coming from because it's like it does seem like all those Saban goblins kind of just want a college program in their name. Like they want to be that guy, but somewhere. My thing is Sark to me is not Saban. Sark, I think Sark has some more motivations than Saban does. Saban just wanted to freaking win. I think Sark.
Yeah.
I don't think Sark has that like competitive dog, like that just wants to win, only wants to win. I think Sark might want to take an NFL job.
I can see it.
But I do think like for his legacy, I mean, it would be better for him to stay and win an Natty and then figure out an NFL career. But the thing about this whole discussion though with the Dallas Cowboys head coach job, I mean, is it any bigger? Does it get any bigger than that job?
Oh, I thought you meant it was
No.
bigger in Texas. No, come on, dude. Yes.
Oh yeah, no. Does it get any bigger? Like Lakers basketball head coach, Yankees, Cowboys.
Yeah.
I would say those are the three biggest jobs in sports. Maybe if you want to get into soccer, but those are the three biggest jobs in sports. So
For Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Walk in.
Whatever.
I just feel like,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, to have that like Saban legacy, do you know how long you have to be somewhere? Like you have to be Sark's what? This was year 4 for him. Like you have to be there forever.
Yeah.
And because I mean, for me, the only thing about college is that like you can actually have the chance to like see these players like I got them in and they were fresh out of prom, and then I send them away, and like they're in the draft, the NFL draft.
Yeah.
But NFL, dude, like those dudes do not care about you. Like they are just like CeeDee Lamb talking to Mike McCarthy this past season was probably like, "What up, Mike?" Bro, Mike, I'm not doing that. Like they don't talk to you like, "Yes, sir." Like you're not. You're
Because
a
they're
coach
making more than the
because
coach.
you're making more.
Yeah.
That's any sport.
Yeah.
I remember that was the craziest thing. Is like watching like MLB guys, and they just call the manager by like first name, like Aaron Judge, bro. Hey, Aaron.
Yeah.
Talking to Aaron Boone, it's like,
Oh, absolutely.
Is he not your?
Yeah.
But they don't have that same level of. So if you don't care about that, straight to the league.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like you said, that Cowboys job, and you don't have to make this big jump.
Yeah.
You're going probably 4. I don't know how far Austin is from Dallas. I don't know. 4,
About 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours.
Make the move. Please make the move.
Yeah.
Do it.
But if not him,
Do it.
the eyes of Texas said, I think Deion Sanders is taking
Yeah,
it.
totally.
Well, I would love that. As a Cowboys fan,
yeah.
I would love Deion
Oh,
Sanders.
yeah.
Could
Oh,
the
man.
swag of the Dallas Cowboys would be
Oh, my
crazy.
God.
He'd bring Drip back to the Cowboys.
I'm telling
Literally.
you, Jerry
Oh my
Jones
gosh.
should pay a crazy money
A
because
billion.
Deion Sanders, I think, could bring back the Cowboys.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he could bring them back.
Yeah.
And it's not even like the head coach has control over, like, it's not like football where it's like, I'm bringing my bag and it's Louis. Like, you
Yeah.
can't just bring players. But,
Oh, you can bring Shadir.
well, he could
Yeah.
theoretically draft Shadir. But, like, man.
Dude,
man.
I want to elaborate that on just a little bit more. That dynamic doesn't exist with Deion Sanders. You know why? Because Deion is probably richer than all those players on that team because he was like that.
Yep.
He made that money.
Coach Prime.
You know what I'm saying? It's prime.
It's
It's
prime.
prime time Sanders.
Could you imagine playing for a guy who suited up in that same uniform?
That's what I'm saying.
Going crazy.
That's what I'm saying. And that's why I think like that typical relate Mike McCarthy and Deion Sanders, who you respecting more?
It's not even like
I'm just
the
saying-
money for him. I think it's more of like,
It's him.
it's Deion.
It's
Well,
Deion.
It's
It's Deion.
Yeah,
you know?
and I'm not saying it's just the money. I'm saying it like it is both. It's definitely
Yeah.
not just the money.
Yeah.
It's Deion Sanders
Yeah.
and the money,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which means that typical disrespect
Mhm.
isn't going to happen with Deion Sanders.
Mhm.
I think this would be a home run hire for the Cowboys.
And the crazy is, I low-key, I was like, all right, Deion, you're doing too much when you first got to Colorado. But now the Deion hate, because as much as flashy and whatever, it's not like he has some probably the strictest rules.
Oh,
When you walk in that meeting room, like phones got to be off, can't
Yeah.
music, no, you go into class, you can't even wear slides to
can't wear
class. Bro.
slides anymore.
You know how many times I walk out to or used to walk to campus? Every football player on this team is in slides.
Yeah.
No socks,
They
just
give 'em
slides.
out.
Yeah.
They give them out.
There
Deion
is
said,
team
y'all
issue.
not wearing slides. Y'all not, if y'all wearing gear, like it better be this certain whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's not he might be cool, might have Rick Ross in the locker room after they win, but like stuff just doesn't slide
No.
under Deion. So I think
Yeah.
he would bring that same thing. Obviously, these guys are all literally like 23 plus. So
Yeah.
it's not going to be the same. You're not going to class.
Yeah.
So that you don't have that to worry about. But just to be like, hey, this is Deion Sanders is coaching the
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys. I think it'd be insane. Like I want to see him there more than Sark. I'm sorry. Like
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think it would be insane. Honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyways, that's going to be awesome. It's going to be cool to see how that turns out. Both ways, I'm happy. I'd much rather Sark because I really am not that big of a Cowboys fan, but I think I would become one if Deion coaches the
It'd be fun to
Cowboys.
watch.
The merch, bro.
I'd become because then I want to be bandwagoning
Yeah.
because they suck. They suck.
They
The
do.
Cowboys suck
do.
at football.
They do.
I wouldn't be a bandwagon if I hop on a fan when they just they didn't make the playoffs
Yeah.
this year.
They're trash.
Something to think about. Anyways, moving on to the last section of comments on comments. We're talking about Baker in the playoffs. Sad. He lost. It was unfortunate. He had a really bad miss handoff that ultimately led to the touchdown that won the game for the Commanders, really sealed the deal. But let's see what Corey Lowe says from TikTok. Baker has the most losses in NFL history when scoring 40 points or more. That is I'm just going to talk about that sentence for a second. That is insane. Baker has the most losses in NFL history when he scores 40 points or more. Baker can never beat the allegations of losing because he has a terrible defense. He will never beat those allegations, continuing from his Oklahoma days. Continuing on the comment, also Baker has the highest passer rating in the playoffs in NFL history, minimum 150 attempts. Dang, Bake. I mean, you put up 40. You have the most losses in NFL history when you do that. You have the highest pass rating in playoffs in NFL history over Brady, over Favre, over Aaron Rodgers. And he hasn't even made it to the NFC Championship game yet, or any championship game for that matter. That is so sad, man. I hate to see that.
Yeah. His defense just sucks.
Yeah.
Honestly, he sold the Commanders game, but his defense just sucks. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Like, there's been so many times, like 3 times this season, and I'm mostly going back to the regular season a little bit here, but 3 times this season, it goes to overtime. They lose the toss, so the other team gets the ball. Baker doesn't even get a shot.
Yeah.
The other team just walks down the field, gets a touchdown.
Yeah.
Baker just has to leave the stadium. Doesn't even get to play an overtime snap.
Jeez.
And then on top of that, he has 2 great wide receivers. They're hurt.
Yep.
So it's just brutal. I mean, it's just brutal. He's been hit with a tough situation. The fact that they scraped their way into that playoffs was insane.
Yeah.
I don't even know how they made it. So, yeah, I mean, just sucks for Bake, man. I mean, it just sucks.
I feel for him because it's like for the past 10 years, bro he's done all he possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
He just can't. His defense fails him every single time.
time.
I'm talking. You think, all right, finally, I just lost this Georgia game. I'm gonna go to the NFL.
He's going to get in the mic.
Oh, I said I just lost this Georgia game, but like I'm gonna go to the NFL and it's gonna be all better. But it just does not get better. Like, I would be in shambles. Like, if I was like, man, a new fresh start, I'm ready, and my defense sucks again. Like, I cannot beat my defense is selling me allegations. Like, you can't beat them. Like, it's impossible.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. Yeah, and he played good that game. It just that one missed snap, and it just killed him. Really, really, really sad. Is this next comment from this week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I can kind of dive into it because it was a post that it's from the Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated graded every single position group and basically how it was coached. And Michael Townley responded to it on Facebook and said, with a bunch like this, you can have all 5 stars and lose. But we don't have 5 stars. We have a lot of 3 stars.
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Especially on offense.
Yeah.
The offense is not coached well. It was the letter grades for the offensive coaches were in the D's, C's, and F's.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with those grades, at least for last season. And I think it's a fair point. I mean, like, Joe John Finley, he's got a 5-star. And what are we seeing? You know what I mean? He's got talent. We're just not seeing it.
We're not even seeing him.
We're
not even seeing him.
Seeing the talent at all.
Yeah.
So I do agree.
Yeah. I really don't have much to say other than, we have probably the worst offensive coaching staff in the country. At least we did. Now that Ben Arbogle's here, maybe that'll change a little bit. But I mean, we're buns. When you have D's, C's, and F's, what are you gonna do? Like that? You know what that performs? D, C, and F performance. And that's what we saw.
Like, you bring that home on a report card, I'm getting a whooping. Like, my mom would have whooped me
that's what,
if I brought that home.
Maybe that's what they need.
They need a whooping, bro.
Maybe they need a whooping.
Line them up, bro. Just belt, pow. But dude,
that's right.
Like,
take out the belt, pow, pow, pow.
As soon as you walk by next,
get them
straight. Whoopings work, guys.
And you know what? They're still hired. They're still employed,
making
by the university,
thousands, millions.
Oh, how much are we paying to these DC and F coaches? BV. I'm just saying, it's crazy that you can get graded like that, and you still have a job at OU.
Boyd.
I
could get.
Let me tell you right now.
Let me tell you.
If you're at OU, you got to have a B or higher, B- or higher. That is the standard here. BV says defend the standard. BV, you're lowering it. You have D, C, and F graded coaches, and you're keeping them hired. Defend the standard.
Yeah, dude.
Huh? I don't know.
But if Jim Knowles shows up, guys, defense is going to be up, and Ben Arbuckle is going to raise that offense up, guys. So it's next year, OU 2025, 2026.
Bank on it.
Bank on it. Put your whole
Put another mortgage on it.
Lock it in.
Shout out Mike Morgan.
Yeah, dude. We were talking earlier. I just want to talk about it because it's funny. Mike Morgan will always post the craziest Twitter comments saying, massive snowstorm coming into town. Gear up, and there's not a chance of snow.
Yeah, Mike Morgan's
Sunday.
the local weatherman, by the way.
Yeah, he's the local weatherman.
Mike Morgan's the local weatherman, and he'll literally come out and say, in 3 weeks, we're going to have a historic snowstorm that will kill 1 million people. Bank on it. Put your house mortgage on it. Everything.
Yeah.
And then we'll get a dusting in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like, Mike, you just told me to bank on it.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Mike, I locked it in.
I
I put it on the poly market.
Yeah.
I put it on the poly market and I got cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, I don't know. Mike Morgan.
Shout out Mike Morgan.
Shout out Mike Morgan. But yeah, anyways, that wraps it up for the podcast today. This was a good one. We hope you enjoyed it. It's our first live stream that we've ever done, so hope you enjoyed it. It will get better, and we have some fun things coming up. We're in the works right now, talking to some people and getting some things going. So stay locked in. But anyways, we hope you enjoyed. Be sure to comment next time, because when you comment, we get to talk about it, and that's kind of the whole point of why we're going live. Anyways, though, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, it's not our first live stream.
That's true.
Because we actually did duct tape our phone to the top of the camera one time.
We did.
True.
I wish we had a picture of that.
Yeah, we should take a picture of that because that was hilarious.
That was
That's good.
ridiculous.
Yeah. All right, Paul.
Anyways, thanks, guys.